The YouTube commenting system has been on my mind lately, so I thought I would grab my GoPro, go for a walk around Kuala Lumpur, and talk about it. As everyone in Kuala Lumpur knows, it is the season of haze here in Malaysia. You can see the hazy sky up there over the Klang River. Looking down in this direction, a lot more haze. It's actually not as bad today as it has been. In the last few days, sometimes the buildings in the distance, I couldn't even see them. It's like they were inside a thick fog bank. I should say up front that I love YouTube comments. It's one of my favorite things about my new hobby and having a YouTube channel. I love the comments that people leave on my videos. I love replying to them. I love the information that people send my way. You know, the whole sense of community that it provides is amazing. That's one of the best things about YouTube. To be honest, when I started the YouTube channel, I was a little bit nervous about that because I remember years ago on the internet, comments on almost any public thread were really awful. I used to go to Rotten Tomatoes all the time to look at the movie reviews, and Rotten Tomatoes had a commenting system. So if someone left a review of a movie from, a reviewer from some newspaper, anybody could get on there and leave a comment about their review. And the comments there were just horrific. Wow, they got so nasty, they were practically evil. It's like if a movie reviewer said something bad about a movie that you personally liked, people really took offense at it, and the whole comment thread after every movie review would just be insult after insult after insult, and they just got worse and worse and worse. It got so bad, in fact, that Rotten Tomatoes got rid of the comment system completely. It was just too much trouble for them to moderate it. And yeah, it was just more trouble than it's worth, so they just got rid of it. It was that bad. And if you look around the internet, the same thing happened to comment threads everywhere. Most of the big websites now, they don't even allow comments because people just get too nasty in the comments. I used to play a little game with these websites online. I'd see an article that I knew was a little bit controversial, and then I go down into the comments afterwards and try to guess how many comments deep you had to go before you got to your first really savage personal attack or something like that. And it usually didn't take long. It would even be comment number 2 or comment number 3. People were hurling insults at each other, and things just got nasty really, really fast. But it seems like that problem went away to a certain extent. As I said, this was a few years ago. A lot of the big online companies got rid of their comment system altogether. YouTube still kept theirs. So when I started my YouTube channel, I was sort of prepared for a lot of hostility, a lot of personal attacks, a lot of swearing. I thought that's what would happen based on my experience over the years on the internet. And to my surprise, to my delight, it hasn't turned out that way at all. People leave nice comments, people leave thoughtful comments, people offer information that I don't know, they offer corrections for things that I said that were wrong. They add to the discussion of whatever it was I was talking about in the video. And for the most part, everyone is polite, everyone's friendly, everyone's nice, and I love it. So that was a big relief for me, that the comments and the whole world of comments was not as difficult with YouTube as I thought it would be. I'm walking along beside the Klang River, by the way, just a little bit down river from the Pasar Seni MRT station. And I'm not going anywhere in particular. I just wanted to stretch my legs and have a little bit of a video chat. I don't know if I've ever gone down here before. When I walk, I usually stay up here, and then you cross over this road system, and then you can continue along the river. But I wonder if you can just walk down beside the river down here. Let's go check it out. However, and this is the point of this video, and it's a big however, as good as the comments are, the YouTube commenting control system is abysmal. There's no other word for it. It has no functionality at all. I mean, I'm kind of new to YouTube, and maybe there are some things I can do that I'm not aware of. But as far as I can tell, when I go into my YouTube channel dashboard to look at comments and reply to them and that sort of thing, I can do two things. I can sort the comments either by newest comments at the top or top comments at the top. So I can sort them that way, which to me is kind of useless, because when you're replying to people's comments, the top comment has no meaning. You know, for me personally, I'm reading all of the comments, and the fact that YouTube's algorithm has decided this is the top comment, it doesn't really help me at all. So being able to sort by top comment or new comment is useless. To me, it's always newest at the top. So that ability is a wash. You know, I never use it. I have no use for it. I'm trying to get across my first barrier here and show you what I'm looking at. Got a little bit of a puddle. And I just don't want to have wet feet for this walk. It looks like someone set up little stepping stones here. Oh, look at that. I was looking at these particular stones around Merdeka Square, where they're doing some renovating, and I was wondering if people would steal these or not, and apparently they do steal them, because we've got a couple of them right here. Let's see if I can make it across without falling into the water. So far so good. Ta-da! This one's a bit shaky. I made it across. Oh, now there's already another one, but there's stepping stones here as well. Step, step. Made it across. Wet feet. Well, this next barrier, I don't know, might even be more difficult. Let's see. I'll show you what I'm looking at. This is the road I would normally be crossing up there. More water. I'm not sure if I can head this way or not. I don't know why it's so wet down here. Hasn't been raining that heavily as far as I know. Looks like it's kind of a nighttime area for like some homeless men to sleep up here at night. Oh, there's even a bit of a camp across the river there. You can see some down there. Oh, well, I've reached a dead end here, and a ladder heading up to where somebody lives, I guess, underneath the bridge. And my pathway doesn't continue any further, so I have to double back in order to get up there. Not sure if I can head this way or not. Good. Hello. Ooh. Oh. Well, that was a little bit of a adventure slash detour. Now I've got to get across all these puddles again on the stepping stones. Where was I with my main discussion? I remember. I was talking about how the ability to sort by date or not by date, I can sort by newest post or top post. And that's all I can do. And that's useless to me because I always sort by newest at the top. I see no reason ever to sort by top posts at the top. That doesn't do anything for me. And I can do one other thing with the YouTube dashboard. I can search in the comments. Like you can search for a keyword. If you're looking for any comment containing the word Putrajaya, for example, type that in and you get all the comments that have that word in either the comment or any reply. And that can be useful. I use it all the time. Oh, stepping stones. There we go, I made it across safely. It's a weird search function though. Like when you click on it, I mean, you hardly even know it's there. It doesn't even look like a search function. It says something like filter, and then when you click on filter, it says value. Like it's got very technical language. And when you look at it at first, you're like, what the heck? I have to put in a value? What value do I want? But really, it's just a search. You choose filter, comment, and then enter your search term, and then it works from there. But that's all you can do. That's the only useful feature that YouTube provides for the commenting system. That's it. And that seems crazy to me, considering A, we're talking about computers here. Their whole job is to be able to sort things, filter things, organize things. That's what computers are good at. So why does YouTube have none of this ability in their comment dashboard? And B, this is crazy, because comments and the sense of community that they can build on YouTube is a big part of the whole YouTube identity. I mean, you get big YouTubers who have, a lot of subscribers and followers. They'll even name their community. There's a reaction channel run by an American named Tyrone Magnus. And he calls all of the people who watch his videos Magnesites. That's the name of their club. And they often make t-shirts, merchandise with the name of their club emblazoned on it. So it's all about creating this sense of community. You subscribe to his channel, you're a Magnesite. And he's like, welcome back, Magnesites. Hello, Magnesites. And a lot of YouTubers do that to create this sense of belonging and, we are part of the same group. And if that's so important, the only way that a YouTuber can interact with the people watching their videos is through the comment system. So why is it so primitive? I really don't understand this at all. I have to jump in here and interrupt for a second. This is Doug from the future. You know I'm from the future because I'm wearing a different shirt and I have a haircut now. I just wanted to jump in for a second and say that in this video, I talk a lot about the features that are missing from the YouTube commenting system or the YouTube comment control system. And I talk about all the features that I wish they would add. Well, as it turns out, as I was editing this video itself, YouTube added some of those features. So they're there now. In particular, they added 3 new filters based on whether you've replied to a comment or not, whether the person who left a comment is a subscriber or not, plus a filter that allows you to filter based on the subscriber count of the person who left the comment. So now with these filters, I could say, show me all the comments that I have not replied to yet, which is the main thing that I wanted, and YouTube has added it. And I could also say, show me all the comments from subscribers, or show me all the comments from non-subscribers to my channel. And you can layer these filters. So I could say, show me all the comments from subscribers that I have not responded to yet. things like that. So, as I said in this video, I rant quite a bit about all the things that are missing from the YouTube comment control system, but I guess YouTube has been thinking about it. They have been planning to fix it, and just as I was finishing up this video, they added some of these features. So a lot of what I say here is out of date, but I thought I would include it anyway. And so, end of interruption, on with the show and on with my walk down the Klang River. I'm still walking along the river, and I think this is a new part of the River of Life project. This wasn't here the last time I came walking along, so they built it in the last couple of months. And I don't know what it's going to be. At the moment, it's just sort of an empty space with a big red wall. Time to get across the road here. The last time I came down here, I noticed that the the crosswalk signal is actually for bicycles, because this was originally a bicycle path. I don't know if it still is or whether they're building it back up to be a bicycle route or not. We'll find out. Come to a fork in the road. I can go that way, or I can follow this narrow path down to the river. And of course, I'm going to take the narrow one, see where it goes. I think I came up here this way the last time, and this whole area was filled with construction material. But it's all gone now. I wonder what they did with it all. I'm pretty sure it wasn't for that site. I think it must have been for something down here, but I don't know what. Something people don't tell you about these walk and talk videos that I'm discovering is that you have to be in pretty good shape to do it. It's one thing to be walking along, but it's quite another to be walking and talking a lot at the same time. It's like a bit of a workout. You start getting out of breath a little bit. So I have to take a break now and again just to get my breath back. We're passing underneath the monorail line, of course. There it is all around me. Another kind of a homeless shelter here for someone, and it's someone who apparently needs a lot of shoes. Either this person needs a lot of shoes, or there's a lot more people in there than I would think. So, the YouTube commenting control systems are abysmal. So what would I want it to be able to do? Man, a million things. Just off the top of my head, I would like to be able to sort by date. So people leave comments. I'd like to be able to say, show me all the comments from the last 24 hours. Show me the comments from last month, last week. Why not? I mean, all that data is there in the computers. Just set up some windows, enter the dates you want. It should be easy to show all the comments from last Tuesday, from last year, you know? Or, at a minimum, reverse the order, you know? Everything can do that, right? You go into Windows Explorer, open a folder with a bunch of files. You can sort by type, you can sort by date, descending or ascending. You can sort alphabetically, you know, ascending or descending. This is all pretty common stuff for a computer. Computers won't even break a sweat doing that, but you can't do that with YouTube comments. So that's one thing I'd like to be able to do. Just sort them by date. That would be cool. How about sorting them by subscriber? And if you are a subscriber to my channel, and if you've ever left a comment, this applies to you, because you may have left me several comments, and we've had kind of a conversation, and maybe I want to go back in time to refer to something we talked about in the past. I can't do that. I mean, ideally, I should be able to click on your name, your YouTube name that you've chosen, and see all the comments that you've left on my videos. Of course, I want to do that all the time, but I can't. There is no way to do that. That, again, to me seems like sort of a minimum requirement. We're being interrupted by another obstacle. I remember coming through here before. More construction. Just got to climb up and over this. Hello. Here we are underneath another highway system, and this one is all construction. Oh. I mean, doesn't that make sense? It makes perfect sense to me. You know, you are someone that I've been interacting with for the past 7 months since I started posting videos. And we've had a conversation, and I want to go back in time and kind of review what we've shared with each other, what we've talked about. Perhaps you've asked me a question that I forgot to give an answer to, and I can scan all of your comments and see what's been going on. But no, I can't. YouTube does not have that functionality. And again, I don't know why not. The classic tunnel shot. This is like something, hello, hello, echo, echo. That is a serious pipe. I mean, it's some kind of a rubber, hard plastic, but look how thick that is compared to my hand. It's huge. And they're long. These things must weigh a ton as well. Yeah, drainage pipes, I assume. Those are some serious drainage pipes. Hello, hello. Every time I see something like this, I think of a Stephen King novel. And maybe Pennywise the clown is suddenly going to appear at the far end of this tunnel. That would freak me out. Better get out of the tunnel. Get out. Get out. That was me. I was not a monster. So those seem like no-brainers to me. To be able to sort comments by date, any combination of dates, and to be able to sort them in ascending or descending style. And I'd love to be able to sort them, filter them by subscriber who left the comments. You know, makes perfect sense to me. Where things get really crazy and where they need the most improvement is when you start talking about replies to comments. Comments are the meat and potatoes of the system. You know, newest comments at the top. That's all I can do, basically. But when someone replies to a comment, like you leave a comment, I reply to it, you reply to my reply, or you reply to someone else's comment, those are not considered by the system in any way. I can't see new replies. Like, I should be able to see new comments only. Fine. But I should also be able to say, show me all the new replies to previous comments. Can't do that. I will get a notification, you know, with the little bell at the top. If I get a reply to a comment, there'll be a notification there, shows up one time, and if you don't deal with it immediately at that time, it's gone forever. The only way to see if you have replies is to physically scan through all the comments from beginning all the way to the end and manually look to see if there has been a reply. That's insane to me, absolutely insane. But in the dashboard, there's nothing else you can do. There's no button that says, you know, show me all the replies, new replies, nothing. All you can do is look at comments. So I'm kind of explaining this in a way because I'm worried that someone may have replied in a thread, you know, where we've been talking back and forth, and they could have done so 3 weeks ago, and I've never replied to them, and they're thinking, this Doug character, what's up with him, you know? Why hasn't he replied to my reply? And it could be because I don't know it's there. I have absolutely no idea it's there unless, like I said, I literally scan through the whole list of comments. And even then, the replies to the comments are collapsed. So I have to see the number. It's like, oh, there are 2 replies or 3 replies or 4 replies. And I have to calculate, oh, that must mean there's a new one. Then I click on the down arrow and spread them out. And now I can see all of the replies. But as you can imagine, with that system, with that total lack of system, it's very easy to miss replies. Just seems crazy to me. Now, I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Not long ago, someone left a nice comment on one of my videos and said, hey, if you ever come to this part of Kuala Lumpur, let me know. You know, we'll get together for lunch. I thought that was a great idea, so I replied to his comment and said, sure, no problem. You know, I plan to go to that part of Kuala Lumpur anyway, so yeah, get in touch and we'll set something up. And that was like 1 or 2 weeks ago. And then I kind of forgot about it until recently, and then I thought, oh, this poor guy, he probably replied to my reply and suggested a time and a date, and then I totally ignored him. But that's because I never would know that there was a reply. I'm still walking along the Klang River, and there's the new exchange building. You can barely make it out in the haze, but there it is. Starting to rain a little bit. And this, of course, is the pedestrian bridge that I crossed in order to walk through that little bit of a jungle over there, and that gets you to the Royal Museum. And right there is the Tun Sambanthan monorail station. And speaking of replies to comments, that would be another very useful way to sort comments. I'd love to be able to click on a button and say, show me all the comments that I have not replied to yet, or show me all comments that have no replies. And that would give me a simple way of scanning all the comments and seeing if there's something I needed to reply to, something I wanted to take care of. But can't do that at all. I'm at the Tun Sambanath monorail station, and I often have bad luck with these machines, I wonder if I could have good luck with this one today. Actually, it seems to be on, The light is on, and it says Coca-Cola ice cold. Those are my 2 favorite words, ice cold. And green lights flashing here. Pretty little dusty there. Not many people use this machine apparently, which might explain why it's still full of drinks. So, in fact, I think I'm going to take a chance and get a cold Coke right there. It's not vanilla Coke. For some reason, vanilla Coke has never made it into the world of the vending machine yet. It's all classic Coke or nothing. So let's give this a try. The miracle of wireless microphone technology at work. Okay. What do we got going on in here? It's a funny thing, my 1 ringgit notes are often rejected by these machines. Ah, so far so good. Took 1 and 2. Okay, oh, now I have to put in the letters, C6. Oh, yeah, it's one of these old-fashioned ones where like I should have had the camera right here. There's like this ledge at the bottom that came right up, got the Coke, and then kind of funneled it into here. And ta-da! Oh, and it is cold too, ice cold. Classique in Malaysia, spelled with a K, 2 Ks, Classique. I was wondering about this the other day. I've been drinking a lot of like ice cold water lately out of the freezer, and I noticed that if I'm really, really thirsty, every time I take a drink and it's really pleasurable, like going down, I close my eyes. You know, why do we do that? It's like I'm drinking the Coke. Yeah, the instinct is to close your eyes when it's really good and really cold. Any psychologists out there? Let me know why we do that. Continuing my walk, I'm going underneath the monorail station, but a lot of construction going on here too. And I'm assuming this is all part of the River of Life Klang River renovations. Now on the video you can see what's going on, but I can't, because I can't see over the fence. So what are they building over there? That is one big generator. Guess they need a lot of power for whatever it is they're doing. It's amazing to think that in a few years, or 1 or 2 years, however long it will be, you know, all of this work will be finished. And if you come back, or if I come back to Kuala Lumpur, at that point, I won't even recognize the place. Because for me, you know, this is what Kuala Lumpur looks like. It's all construction. Yeah, and there goes the monorail, 2-car train. The old one, soon to be replaced by all 4-car trains. But eventually this will all be finished, and it's all gonna have nice walkways and pathways. Yeah, be nice to see when it's done. Now, I don't know if I can go any further than this. I don't think I can. Like this poor car has been here for a while. It's been here so long that it ended up being a signboard. Look at that. If I were the owner of this car, I'd be very nervous about what happened to this one. I wouldn't want to park here. Maybe the same thing will happen. Oh, right, this is the rest of the trail. Whoa. And what happened to this poor guy? He has been stripped completely. No wheels at all. I remember coming down here a long time ago on my bicycle, because I saw on the map there was a bicycle trail, and I came down here. And even then, a long time ago, this fence was here. The whole thing was blocked off. And there's the bicycle sign. And where are we going to end up? I'm not sure I covered all the points that I've been thinking about with how horrible the YouTube commenting control system is, you know, the dashboard for comments. But I think I proved my point that it should do a whole lot more. I mean, when you think about it, this is something that occurred to me. If you look at the more popular YouTube channels, some of these channels will get thousands of comments, like per video, thousands of comments. And what I've noticed over the years is that YouTubers generally don't reply to any of them, like ever. And I always wondered why people left comments. There was never any feedback, you know. What's your incentive to leave a comment if the person who made the video never replies to anyone, ever? And I always thought that was kind of strange. I mean, it's understandable if you've got 3,000 comments on a video, you can't reply to them. I mean, it's just a human impossibility to do it. But you'd think you'd reply to some of them, a few of them, look for questions maybe that a lot of people are asking the same question over and over again, and you answer that one, you know, something. But they often don't reply to any comments at all. And now that I've started up my own small YouTube channel, I can kind of understand it. I can kind of understand why the big YouTubers don't reply to comments. And one of the reasons is the commenting system is so horrible, it's impossible to work with comments. So if YouTube expects, you know, YouTube creators to develop a sense of community, you know, with subscribers and people who watch their videos, they really should improve that system. I've reached the end of this cycling tunnel, and we've got a doorway that's heading back out into the world. I've reached the end of my walk along the Klang River in this direction. I'm just turning around and heading back towards Pass Arseni. I thought about just hopping in the LRT to go back at KL Central, but it would probably be just as far to walk to KL Central than to just walk back to Pass Arseni. So I'm just going to head in this direction, retrace my steps along the river. And so that is what is on my mind today. The failings of the YouTube commenting system on the dashboard. Don't get me wrong, I love comments. I love interacting with people that have watched my videos, and as I said, it's a very valuable thing for me. People suggest places for me to go, give me information that I wasn't able to uncover myself. I love all of that, but I just find it more and more frustrating that I'm unable to do any sorting or filtering of any kind with comments, and more importantly with replies, because there's nothing for replies. Comments, at least, I mean, there's a list of all the comments with the newest ones at the top. And, you know, it's not much, but at least you've got something. With replies, you don't even get that. You can't even get a list of replies, let alone newest replies at the top. I mean, there's literally nothing. So, again, if you've left a comment on one of my videos and I replied, then you replied with a follow-up question or something, and I never responded, chances are it's just because I never saw it. And even though I do a lot of scanning through the comments and replies, it's a very cumbersome system, and you literally have to look through all of the comments of history in order to see if any new replies have been added. And as I mentioned, am I in the right place now? I feel like I've taken the wrong turn or something and gotten turned around. I'm just passing by a large school. I noticed this sign. I'm used to signs like this at temples. This is the first kind of cartoon version for a school that I've seen. And have to wonder exactly what they're talking about with some of these. Of course, the big red line means no, all of these things are forbidden. And this one, jewelry, like earrings, no earrings for boys, no tank tops for boys, no spaghetti strap tops for girls, no smartphones, or these aren't smartphones, just the old candy bar cell phones, no slippers, no smoking, of course, and I guess something about just keep things clean. I don't know, no garbage. And there's a funny one. Oh, no spitting. At first I thought that was like no throwing up. It's like, why would you throw up? But it must mean no spitting and no gambling. I find that kind of funny, that a school has to make a point of no gambling and no spitting, you know? These seem kind of like rules that would be understood, you know. Are the kids here, you know, addicted gamblers? You know, is that what's going on here? They've got like an epidemic of gambling rings, you know, their own school mafia controlling the gambling rings. You'd think no gambling should just be kind of understood, you know. They have kids in the hallways, you know, throwing dice, exchanging money. I'd like to see that. As far as replies are concerned, I did mention that when you first get a reply, there is a little notification that pops up on the bell on the main window. And you can click on that bell and it opens up a drop-down list, and I can see the reply there and click on it. But it's not very well thought out. For one thing, it's really difficult to reply to that reply in that window. It's really thin and narrow, and you don't have the full editing features as you do in the other window. It's a real pain in the butt. Quite often you can't reply at all. For some reason, when I click on it, sometimes I can type in that window, sometimes I can't. And when you do click on that reply, it takes you to that video and shows you all the comments from that one video, and then you have to keep expanding it to find it. And then you're stuck there. In order to go back to the notification bell, you got to go back, and it takes forever to do. And that could easily be solved by just having a little window, you know, in the dashboard where you just click on it, show me all replies. It should have that, but it doesn't. I've seen signs like this around quite often in Little India. I'm always very curious about them. So apparently we have a guru, a New Age spiritual guru, a world-renowned New Age spiritual guru, a non-religious New Age spiritual guru, and he has the ultimate solution to all your personal and financial problems. Sounds like a good deal. Limited seats, register immediately, entry free. I love the little ad down at the bottom. Don't miss it. This will change your life. I'm not sure I have so many personal and financial problems that I need a New Age guru, but I don't know. Why not? Maybe I need all the help I can get. It's probably true. Ah, check it out. Be better on a non-hazy day. We get a nice view of the PNB 118 building there, framed by the apartment towers. I wonder what the schedule is for that building. I've looked up information about it many times, but I've never tracked down the date at which it's supposed to be completed. And there goes one of the new 4-car monorail trains. Love those. It even sounds quieter than the old 2-car trains. When it went by overhead, it just seemed to have more of a whoosh instead of a rattling sound. They're still not exactly zooming along, you know, they're not going at high speed on these curving monorails. But that's not their fault. That's just how monorails work. They have more of a human, slow and steady pace to them. That's one of the things I find appealing about them, actually. It's like, feels like every day you're at an amusement park when you take the monorail. couple of technical notes for today. Technical note 1, I'm recording with the Rode Wireless Go microphone as usual, but I have it hooked up to my Boya lavalier microphone, and you can see the Boya here clipped onto my shirt collar. It still sounds a whole lot better to me than my much more expensive Ceramonic microphone. I just cannot get that one to work properly, so I'm still using the Boya, even though the cord, which is about 10,000 miles long and is stuffed into my pocket, is still a bit of a pain. I prefer the sound from the Boya, so that's what I'm using. Technical note number 2 is that I still love using this GoPro. You know, I use it all the time now. It's my go-to camera. I love almost everything about it, but it sure is glitchy. A glitch I haven't mentioned to date, I don't think, is that the battery often drains inside the GoPro even when it's turned off. So I'll often at night charge up all my batteries. I have 4 of them, and all 4 of them are fully charged. I'll put a brand new fresh battery into the GoPro to have it ready for the next morning. And then when I wake up in the morning, battery's dead. It doesn't happen all the time. It happens maybe 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 15 times, but I never know when it's going to happen, and I don't know why. Nothing is on the GoPro. There's no screen on. There's no lights flashing. There's nothing. It's totally shut down. Sometimes it's fine, and sometimes, for some reason, the battery just drains overnight, and I have no idea why. It happens enough that it's a problem. Technical note number 3, I just thought I'd show you how I'm carrying around my GoPro and all of the accessories. I'm using one of these cases from Lowepro. It is called the Gear Up Camera Box Medium. I originally bought this to put in lenses. Like all of my Olympus lenses are pretty small, and I thought I could put a whole bunch of my Micro Four Thirds lenses in here. Oh, there goes the monorail. But I never ended up using it for the lenses, and then one day I wondered whether it would be a good way to carry my GoPro safely. And so far, yeah, it is. It's not perfect, but here's how it works basically. On the very top, you know, there's just a zippered compartment, and I keep a lot of extra cords and batteries in there, just tiny little accessories. And the whole top of the case opens up like that, and then you have all of these dividers that you can set up however you want to put in all of your GoPro gear. This, for example, is the original GoPro cage, which I use. It slides in there neatly. This is where the GoPro fits inside its Ulanzi case. Here's some bags full of batteries, memory cards, flash cards. I put all of my microphones in here. This is all my microphone slots. This is the pouch for the Rode Wireless Go microphone. Yeah, it all fits in there, believe it or not. And it slides into this pocket quite nicely. And this is the battery charger for the GoPro. It fits nicely in there. And there's another slot up here for more USB cords, a little pocket there. And then the whole thing keeps everything safe, zips up nicely, has a little handle on the top. And there it is, the Lowepro Gear Up Camera Box Medium. It's quite nice for all of my GoPro accessories. Cases like that are a little bit of a mixed bag, because when you take a bunch of small items and put them in a square case like this, it actually ends up taking up a lot more volume than if you took all those items and just shoved them in a bag all by themselves. Probably would take up maybe half of the volume. So I didn't use a case like this for a while, but I found that I was putting my GoPro in danger a lot. I was dumping it in places, leaving it there exposed. Dust and dirt was getting all over the lens, and I was forgetting. It's so small, I would forget about it and perhaps knock it off the bed or off the desk. So I finally decided to start using this low pro case, and I now at night tuck it away in this little sleeve. And yeah, I really quite like it. It keeps the GoPro safe, keeps everything organized, makes sure I have everything with me. Not that long ago, I went out to shoot some video and I was all excited. I was shooting all this stuff and I ended up miles away from my guest house. The battery died and I went to change the battery and I realized I didn't bring any extra batteries with me. I forgot to bring the little battery case, and that was when I had everything separate. So every time I wanted to go out filming, I had to bring so many things. I had to remember, oh, bring this cable, bring those batteries, oh, bring the extra memory cards, oh, I might want to use that case, bring that case. And I would generally forget one or two of those items, but now that I have all of it in one case, I just bring the case and I know I have everything with me all the time. So I'm digging it, works well. Another technical note about the GoPro, I'm having trouble with the messages that there isn't enough memory left on the memory card. This happens all the time and it drives me crazy because I'll turn on the GoPro and instead of going into shooting mode automatically, I'll get a message that says, you know, storage is running low and please delete files or do something to fix the problem. And you can't get out of that screen. The only way to get out of that screen is to touch it, click on it, it opens up all the files on your GoPro and then wants you to delete a bunch of files. And that's really dangerous because you're trying to click out of that screen without deleting anything. And the screen on the GoPro, it's touch sensitive, but it's not perfect. And I can see you're out wandering around, you're not thinking that clearly. You might hit the wrong button and delete everything off the card. And yet when you get this memory is low message, it automatically puts you into the delete file screen. It gives you no choice. And then you have to somehow back out of that screen without deleting anything. And then after I go through all of that, and I get back to the main screen where I can start recording, I look up in the top left-hand corner and it says I still have 40 minutes worth of time left on this memory card. So I don't know what's going on with this GoPro. Like, is it dumb? Is it losing its mind or something? When it gets to 40 minutes left, it gives me this message that I'm running out of space. I'm not running out of space yet. I've still got 40 minutes. So I don't know what's going on there. It does two things wrong. It's telling me I'm low on storage when I'm not, and then it automatically takes me into the delete files menu when I don't want to go there. So, and I've gone into the settings, into the menus, into all that stuff, trying to turn this off, to adjust the settings, and I haven't been able to find anything. So I don't know what's going on with this GoPro. GoPro, fix yourself. Get smarter. I'm on my way back to Pass Arseni and have to get through the construction site again. Look at all these good-looking bricks, and appropriately enough, all these bricks are here in Brickfield. In the old days, the bricks would have been made right here. Monorail. Since I came by here last time, they've moved some heavy equipment into place. And I think they'll let me go through. There's all your control systems. And I guess that machine, its purpose is to dig holes. It's a hole digger. Another technical note, I had something of an epiphany a few days ago. And this epiphany came when I was talking with someone about making YouTube videos. And something I said, and I've said it many times, is that the shooting of the video is really not that hard to do. I mean, to do it well, obviously, is very difficult if you have all kinds of filming techniques in mind and that sort of thing. But in terms of the time commitment and the energy, you know, like what I'm doing right now, walking with my GoPro, it's, you know, not that hard to do. What is hard to do, and what takes a huge amount of time, is the editing of the video and uploading it to YouTube, and then doing all the other things you have to do as part of that process. That's what takes a lot of time. And it got to the point where I was reluctant to film anything because I was aware of how much time it would take to edit that video. It's like I'd be going somewhere and then I'd start thinking, boy, I can go film for an hour on this little trip, but then it's going to take a day or 2 days to edit that video afterwards. So I started thinking, is it worth it? Like, is that video subject worth all the time you're going to put into editing it? And then I would quite often decide, well, no, it's not that big a deal, so there's no point in filming it. So I wouldn't. I would just go off without the camera and not film anything at all. And then I had my epiphany. Who cares that it takes a long time to edit it? If it's easy to shoot the video, well, then shoot everything all the time. Because those occasions when I decided not to bring the camera, sure, maybe the overall experience wasn't really film worthy, but along the way, I would come across all these little things that I thought were interesting, and I kept wishing I had my camera. So I had this epiphany that since the actual taking of the video is not that difficult to do, then just do it all the time and worry about the editing later. So you can go out on a trip, go see some park you heard about, film everything, and then later on, maybe you never even make a video out of that experience, but maybe you will. But at least you have all of the video on a memory card now, in case you do want it. So I found that was a interesting switch in my brain. So suddenly I just started taking my camera everywhere and just filming everything all the time. And then later on, I may even be making a different video about a different subject altogether, and I'll remember that clip from 2 days ago. It's like, oh, yeah, I could stick that in here. You know, you suddenly, by filming everything all the time, you have all this raw material that you can work with and that you can pull from, whether you use it or not. And so I'm back at Pasar Seni station now. I'm looking at it, it's just ahead of me, a 4-car train just pulled up. And yeah, well, that is what is on my mind today. YouTube commenting system and how abysmal the dashboard controls are for comments. I really hope that gets better in the future. And as I said, I'm really puzzled why YouTube has not, you know, considering it's a multi-billion-dollar company now, why it can't throw a few dollars towards some programmer somewhere to, you know, put in a few filtering options for the comments and replies. How hard can it be? Can't be that hard. But we'll see how it goes from this point on. Hopefully it gets better. Until then, I will see you in the next video. And here are the rules for River of Life. Tells you that you are under surveillance. No littering, no skateboarding, no driving your motorcycle, no selling of goods. You have to keep off the green area. Somehow this one doesn't seem like it would be too much of a problem. Not too many green areas around. No graffiti allowed. And of course some street comedian made his feelings known about that sign. And the last one, as always, indecent behavior are prohibited. That one, the indecent behavior sign, always strikes me as a bit odd. I mean, the picture they chose there is like the cutest Hallmark card image you can imagine of, you know, a young couple in love with hearts floating above their heads. I mean, normally you look at that and you think that's the most wonderful thing you've ever seen, but it's labeled as indecent behavior, you know. Love is indecent in the river of life, apparently. But it is funny when you think about it, because that's not what they mean by indecent behavior, you know, a young couple holding hands, something like that. But what they're really thinking of as indecent, they can't actually show you a picture of that indecent behavior, because the picture itself would be indecent, and that's what they're banning. So it's kind of a catch-22 that they can't really give a picture to show what they're talking about. I guess all they're left with is words, you know, and they could just say indecent behavior prohibited without a picture, and that would probably be a bit more logical when you think about it.